Hello everybody, welcome to my 2026 bullet journal video. This is my first video on YouTube, so I am a little nervous to be posting, but I am also excited. I have watched bullet journal videos for the longest time, for years, and I've tried making bullet journals in the past, but it just has not worked out. So I'm gonna try my hand at it again. And now that I have some more confidence in myself, and I'm actually really proud of what I've gotten done so far. So I'm excited to share this with you, and I hope you enjoy watching. So on my left page here, I'm gonna make a pocket, and tonight I'm going to write myself a letter that I am going to come back and read at the end of the year, just so I can see where I was at the beginning of the year. But keep in mind, it is already the end of January, so it's not really the beginning of the year. I suppose it's more the end of the beginning of the year. Maybe I'll add in a clip of End of Beginning by Joe here. So I have my cover page for 2026, and at the bottom here, ignore my nail. That ripped off. I was picking up a case of water, and like I said, my nail actually ripped off. It hurt really bad. It still kind of hurts, but we're letting it grow back out. But anyways, I digress. Here we have metamorphosis with a moth here, and you'll understand more what I'm talking about with metamorphosis, but that's kind of like my overarching theme for the whole year. I want to focus on growth as a person. But I think that this cover page is really darn cute. And it's pretty classic, so it's not really like tied to any one monthly theme. But I have my key here for my tasks and my events, priorities, appointments. So when I have my monthly overviews, I can just kind of write everything in and have a little symbol to designate what exactly it is. And then I have my yearly overview, so I just have a little calendar of the month, obviously the months, but I figured that was kind of fitting to put in here as I was just figuring out what exactly I wanted to do. And then I have my future log here. Almost all of the parts of my bullet journal were inspired by another YouTuber. I will link her channel in the description, so please go check her out. I got so many of these ideas from her because I wasn't even sure where to start, so I cannot take full credit for everything I have in here. But I have my future log, and similar to my yearly overview, my future log I have every month. And I have space to write in birthdays, major events, anything that happens in each month. So just to kind of be a reminder of what I have coming. Then this is what I was talking about with metamorphosis. So my word of the year is going to be metamorphosis. It is metamorphosis. So I have like the pronunciation and the dictionary definition, which is a change in the form of a thing or person into a completely different one by natural or supernatural means. So my year is going to be focused on growth and just becoming the best version of myself. And I also have a little note here. That says, notice the ways different parts of life may shift or quietly change with time. As you prepare to fly, even subtle moments of transformation can be meaningful. Small shifts often lay the groundwork for what's to come. And I actually got this and this little note here from a Word of the Year website that I will also link in the description. If you're also starting out your bullet journal a little late and might want to add a Word of the Year. They have a lot of options, and I was kind of bouncing back and forth between ideas before I landed on metamorphosis. And just to kind of go with that theme, I also drew in a little moth here because I love moths, and I feel like they're a very good way to symbolize that metamorphosis. And then to kind of go hand in hand with this, I have my 2026 intentions bingo. It's not exactly a bingo board. I can't really get like a full diagonal bingo or anything, but just my goals for the year. So as I do these things, I can kind of check them off, and I've got some things in here like let something be good enough, advocate for myself, build a routine, celebrate small wins, try something new, rest, things that I typically kind of struggle with. So these are things that I want to be able to try to accomplish by the end of the year. So next I have my watch log. So whenever I watch a movie or a TV show, I can write down when I watched it and what it was, and I also have a little star rating system here for how much I enjoyed it. And then over here, I have my book log. Ignore the bottom of it. It is really ugly because I had actually miscounted. When I was doing this, I was drawing down the line down first, and I was trying to count as I went, but I accidentally counted down to 30 instead of 31 before I finished doing everything. And then when I was numbering it, I realized I needed to add another line. So it looks a little rough, but nothing a little whiteout can't fix, right? And then to go with that, I have my goal for the year. My goal is to read 12 books, so a book a month. On this flap here, I have room to write down books, and I'm going to kind of color code those. And then as I color code them, I can write or kind of like fill this in with how long it takes me to read each book and what books they are. And I have space to add more on the back of this flap and on here. So I'm giving myself plenty of space. I was doing my editing and I realized that this clip of my music log was not very good. So redoing this here, I have my music log and I have every month drawn out here, and I'm going to write down what songs I listen to, how many songs I listen to, what artists I listen to, my favorite song for each month, just little things like that. And then if I go to any concerts, which hopefully I do, I can write out who I go to and when. So I have plenty of space to write on here. And then I have my cooking page. So I kind of have a couple of goals here, which is just to learn some more fun recipes and to bake more. And then I'm also just going to write down any fun things that I do cook and when I cook them or bake them. So yesterday I made a pepper and onion scramble. It was really good. Recommend. And then I also have a period tracker to fill in, just because I have a period tracker app, but I figured kind of having a more visual thing I can come back to without being on my phone for it is not the worst thing in the world. And then I haven't filled these in yet, but I have my ins and outs for 2026. So ins are the things that I want to focus on and bring into the year, and then outs are the things that I want to leave behind in 2025. And then for this, I'm going to come back at the end of every month and write down what my theme for the month was. So what the biggest thing I noticed each month was. And I'm going to come back tonight and fill this first square out for January. And then I have my weather tracker. I actually went back and looked at what the weather every day this month was like and filled in for January. So I'm going to fill in this last block for January tonight, and then I'm going to get started on February. And then I don't know what exactly I'm going to add on this blank page here. I might leave it blank, but I kind of want to add something else there. Not sure yet. Then I have my cover spread for January. My full month for January is going to be a little barren because, as I said, I only started my bullet journal a couple days ago. So I haven't really had the time to do too much to this month. I just kind of wanted a space to practice what I might do for the rest of the year. but I'm really proud of how this came out. I think it's really, really darn cute. I have a quote from C.S. Lewis. So, you can never get a cup of tea large enough or a book long enough to suit me. So, then I have my monthly overview for January. And this is what I was talking about with adding in my tasks and events and appointments and everything. So you can see like here, actually using that key from the beginning. I absolutely love how this came out. And this is what I'm going to do, something like this every month. And then again, like I said, this is just kind of practicing what I might want to do for future months. So I have a mood tracker. I started filling this out just kind of randomly, but then I decided it's kind of silly to try to fill this out when I don't remember what I was feeling on certain days. So I'm just going to leave it as is. And I have a better mood tracker for February that I'm so excited to show. And then this is my first attempt at a habit tracker. I don't love it, but again, I have a better habit tracker for February. Speaking of February, here's my spread. I absolutely love it. I think this is the cutest thing ever. I love all the hearts, the two-toned hearts, and then I have a quote here. So I'm gonna kind of try to alternate pages with that, with my cover pages. So January, the month was over here and I had a quote over here. February, the month is over here, I have a quote over here. So March, I might switch back to month quote. But the quote for February, when you love what you have, you have everything you need. I think that's just a really beautiful quote. So then I forgot to do my monthly overview on the next page. So I have my mood tracker here actually. And I'm going to kind of add a little more detail to this because these are supposed to be like little heart balloons dangling down. But I have a heart for every day and a little scale for if I felt bad that day or if I felt good that day or somewhere in the middle. So I'll come back at the end of February and update you guys on that. And then I messed up my monthly overview here. Again, I miscounted. So I had to draw an extra line and then I was like, I have more pages, so we're just going to do a new one. And it looks pretty barren right now because the only thing I have scheduled for certain is my work for next week and my classes. So, and also my brother's birthday and my boyfriend's birthday and holidays. But as I get more work schedules, as I have more homework come up, I will add that in here as well. And I also decided to kind of write out the first week of March as well, since February is only 4 weeks. So then I have my habit tracker. I just recorded this whole page right here and my video cut because I ran out of storage on my phone. I am getting a new phone today, hopefully, though, so fingers crossed. But I had to delete some apps in order to get my storage back. But here's my habit tracker for February, and these are my goals. And like I said, it's a better setup than what I tried for January. It's not centered perfectly, but this is my first habit tracker that I really like, so I'm gonna try to do this again for March, and it should be a little bit more effective, should look a little better. So my goals for February are to work out every day, drink water every day, clean every day, bullet journal every day, read every day, and wake up early every day. And then for no candy and no snacks, I'm not necessarily going to make an effort to not do these things every day, but I do want to kind of see if I can track how many days I can actually go without candy and snacks. Then I have a sleep tracker because I either sleep way too much or not enough, and I kind of want a visual on that. So my ideal range of sleep should be 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. But I have plenty of space for if I fall asleep at 8 p.m. or if I wake up at 6 p.m. So, plenty of space for that. And then this is the last page I have right now, because it is not February yet, so I'm not gonna add anything more here. But this is where I'm gonna do some actual journaling. So I have Sunday, 1st of February, and I'm going at the end of the day, gonna come in and maybe write some things I'm grateful for, some things that happened during the day. I'm not sure yet. Might not be the same sort of thing every day, but I'm gonna try to do a little bit of writing every day in February. So I'm not sure when I will post another update on this. I might add a couple posts on my social media on that. If I do, I will try to update the description in my video with my socials, so you can check those. But that's all I've got for the year so far. I'm really excited to work through my bullet journal, and I'm excited to post more as I do more. And I am excited to hopefully make some content that somebody out there will enjoy watching. So with that being said, closing the book for now, and thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to listen to me ramble about my bullet journal.